Hello, my bookish friends. I'm going to be starting a Halloween vlog, beginning with All Hallows by Christopher Golden. This one sounds like it's going to have all the autumnal vibes and the Halloween vibes that I'm looking for, so that's why I wanted to begin with this one. It's actually set on Halloween night, and it's set in 1984, which makes it even more fun. So it's about these trick-or-treaters that are going around town getting their candy, and there's two little kids among them that don't seem to belong. They're kind of outcasts, and the other kids seem a little bit afraid of them. And so these kids, they're going around begging people to save them from what they call the cunning man. And so that sounds really intriguing and really fun. And there's something about a clearing in the woods with some spooky tree that's growing in the center. I don't know what that's about, but it sounds spooky and it sounds fun, and I can't wait to dive in. And I will let you guys know when I get a little bit into it. Hello, it's the next day and I'm about 50 pages into All Hallows, and I really like it so far. It looks like we're going to have about 3 different point of views. There's a man and his teenage daughter that started a haunted hollows, or haunted woods, I guess it's called actually. Basically in his backyard he's got like a forest of trees, and there's a pathways winding through them, and he put out decorations and people can walk through these woods and see their different decorations, which sounds so much fun. I would have loved to go to one of those when I was a kid. And then the other perspective is there's a woman whose husband is cheating on her, and he was supposed to be home to help the kids go trick-or-treating and to have a night at home passing out candy for Halloween, and he didn't show up. And I guess he's kind of a drunk and a bit of a womanizer, and so she goes around town trying to find him, and she's, pissed off at him, and so things spiral very quickly in that relationship. It's kind of crazy right now. And the other perspective that we're getting is a teenage girl and her best friend Stevie. His family always has a neighborhood Halloween block party, so they're just going to this party, but they all know each other, they all live in the same neighborhood, so every perspective they're talking about the other people that we're also getting a perspective from, so that's fun. So you're kind of learning about this whole little town and this whole little neighborhood. And it sounds like from the synopsis there was those 2 kids that dress up for trick-or-treating that everybody is afraid of. Well, I almost think they're out of time, like they're ghosts or something, because we have a little girl who's dressed like Raggedy Ann, and then we have a little boy who's, I don't know for sure what his costume is. It's almost like a creepy scarecrow / clown thing, but anyways, they people see them and they're kind of like, oh, well, that's a freaky costume. Or he sees the little Raggedy Ann girl and he thinks that she's a real girl and she might come back for her doll that she left. But I'm thinking that no, I'm thinking she's either a ghost or they're time travelers or something else is going on. So we've already had a tiny bit of spookiness, and that's always fun. So like I said, I'm not that far in, but it's very interesting, it's very intriguing, it's got all the Halloween vibes I was looking for, so I'm really liking it so far. I think I'm gonna go look at my own neighborhood and see the Halloween decorations, probably take the dogs for a walk, and then every year we take a drive and we see the changing leaves, so I'll probably do that, and I'll show you some footage from that, and I will update you later. See ya.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show. There are
I'm here for another check-in. I'm about 100 pages in now. And just to clarify that there is more than just the 3 perspectives. You do have just the 3 families, but it's their kids' perspectives as well. So there's more than just the three adults that I originally thought there was going to be. So that's a little bit intriguing. I don't mind it. It's nice having the kids' perspectives because they're out trick or treating and you get to see things from a different point of view. So that's kind of fun. I just hope I can keep them all straight because sometimes if you get too many people, then it's hard to keep track of them. So hopefully that won't be a problem. Also, to clarify, there's actually three of like the creepy children that are running around the neighborhood. So there is the Raggedy Ann girl, but then there's both a clown and a scarecrow. So you have the three children that I think are the ghost children. But it seems like other people can see them though, it's not like there's just one person that sees them. Other people seem to see them. So I don't know, but I definitely think it's something supernatural for sure, but I just don't know if they're ghosts or if it's something else. So I'm intrigued by that. And I like the Barbosa family the most. They're the most intriguing to me. They're also the most empathetic. The other families is just a lot of drama and it's a lot of the same tropes that I see in a lot of thrillers. And so I like it and I'm enjoying my time reading it, but I like the Barbosa family because it's different than just what you would read in a thriller. And so I have empathy for them because the dad lost his job. And so this is going to be their last Halloween in the neighborhood that the kids had grown up in. And so they're all feeling nostalgic and a little bit sad. And so I just feel bad for them, but it adds another layer. And also, there's more intriguing things happening with them, like creepy vibes with them. And so I'm excited for that. So I am liking the other kids' perspectives, but when it comes to the adults and the one teenage daughter, it's just a lot of drama. So I'm not as interested. But as far as the younger kids and the Barbarossa family, they're the ones that I'm enjoying the most. So I'm enjoying my time with this book. I probably won't do another update. I'll probably talk to you again when I've finished it. Hi guys, so I'm here for my final check-in for All Hallows, kind of. I'm so upset. I know I'm smiling and laughing right now, but really it's only because a few hours have gone by and I've calmed down, but I'm not mad at the book. The book is good, but I had three more chapters. Three more chapters. I was going to finish it this morning, and then my cat, my stupid cat, he decided that he was going to gorge himself on food and water and then jump up on my bed and throw up everywhere. And it went all over my book. And there's really no cleaning the pages of a book. It will always smell like cat puke, and I wouldn't be able to touch it without cringing. So basically, I just had to throw it away. And that makes me so upset because that was an adult hardback novel. It's probably $27 for that book, and now I'm going to have to rebuy it. So I'm very upset. And I don't get to finish it until I find another copy. So I'm hoping my local library has it so I can at least finish it for now. But, anyways, so that's a bummer. But other than that, let's go ahead and tell you what I did manage to read. So obviously, I'm not going to give you spoilers, but this feels like a coming of age story. It all takes place in one night, so it's not a coming of age story at all, but it feels like one because you're following all these kids and it's very nostalgic. They're going trick or treating and it's Halloween time. But as the night goes on, these kids are all losing their innocence, and that's a big trope when it comes to coming of age stories. And so it just had that feel to it, even though it all takes place in one night. So that's been great. And I wanted to say, for those of you who have read Dark Harvest, it has an entity in here that's very like the October Boy. So, he's kind of has like a pumpkin head, and his eyes are candles that flame in the dark. And so he's very reminiscent of October Boy. And so that was really fun because I really like that aspect of this book. But on the whole, this wasn't my favorite book. Like, it was okay. I'd give it like a 3 stars. And so All Hallows, I enjoyed a lot better, but yet it had that same creepy October entity in it, which I really enjoyed. So that's been a lot of fun. And it has creepy children, and it has, supernatural things, but also has day-to-day evil, and not day-to-day evil, but that's not what I meant. I meant like mundane human evil. And they're having drama come up in their families, and there's just so much going on. And even though this is very fast paced, it's just go, 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 there's not really any downtime. That being said, the ending, the climax, is starting to be a little bit drawn out, in my opinion, but it's still a really fun read, and I'm really enjoying my time. And unless the last 3 chapters really bomb, which I highly doubt, I would give this book a solid 4, maybe even a 4.5 stars. So, next in this vlog, I'm going to be reading There's No Way I'd Die First by Lisa Springer. I've actually already started this book. I'm only 24 pages in, so I'm not very far. But this is a YA horror novel, and this is about a girl who's really into the horror genre when it comes to films. And so she wants to go to film school and learn how to make horror movies, and she's written essays about horror tropes and about different things. She's a media influencer, so she's got a lot of people on Instagram that follow her, and they all are telling her that she should do a blog and all this stuff. So that's kind of her life. She's very much a social media influencer. And so she's having this Halloween party while her parents are out of town for their anniversary, and she's going to throw this huge Halloween bash and invite some other influencers to come along, and tells them to bring their cell phones because she knows that they'll document it and post it, and she'll get all these likes and she'll get all these subscribers and all of that. And so that's kind of what she's going for. So this is very, very YA. Like, not necessarily in a bad way, but like the dialogue and the whole social media influencer thing just reads very young to me, which I know might be a little bit hypocritical because I'm doing booktube right now, but I don't know, it just gives it a very YA feel. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. I do like YA, but just know going into it that it's definitely a YA. But anyways, it's very self-aware though, which I really enjoy, because if you can tell from the cover, it's about this black girl, and she wrote an essay about how black people, are always the first people to die in horror movies, and they never make it to the end. And so she really likes John Pill's movies. And so this book is kind of very self-aware, because at this Halloween party, she hires a clown to be like Pennywise at her party, but then he becomes like a real clown that murders people. A real clown that murders people. That's, because clowns just always murder people. I meant like he becomes a real life murderer. And so there's this murderous clown that's going around her party trying to kill people. So it turns into a slasher. And so she's going to be like the final girl, which is funny because she's, talking about how in slasher films, black people never make it to the end, and she's going to be a black final girl. So I thought that was really fun and very self-aware, and I thought that was pretty clever. So I'm excited to continue on with this. Hello, I'm back with another update. It's been a day and a half since I last spoke to you guys. Somebody on Instagram saved the day, so they were doing a post about the books I got for Book of the Month. And one of those books happened to be My Darling Girl by Jennifer McMahon. And I actually just recently bought that book at Barnes & Noble, and I didn't realize it was a Book of the Month add-on. And so I could have gotten it for half the price. So I was like, well, that sucks, I could have gotten it for cheaper. So then I had the idea, because I still had the receipt, I could return that book to Barnes & Noble and in exchange get a new copy of All Hallows. Woohoo! So that's what I did. So I now have a brand new copy that's not puked on by the cat, and I was able to finish it. So now that I've actually finished the book, I can tell you my final thoughts. And this one was a really fun Halloween book. I really liked it. I thought it had all the Halloween vibes. What I really liked about this author's writing is the characters didn't feel cardboard cutout. They didn't feel flat. They weren't one-dimensional. They felt a little bit more fleshed out, and I think a lot of that had to do with he would get inside of their heads and he'd have a lot of their thoughts and their motivations about everything. And so that really helped you connect to the characters and help them not be so surface level. So good for Christopher Golden for being able to have some character development, which was really nice to have in such a short book. It's just like over 300 pages. I really liked how the beginning and the end wrapped up, because in the beginning we have Tony Barbosa and his daughter Chloe, and they're getting the decorations out for the Haunted Hollows. Or not Haunted Hollows, maybe Haunted Woods. I gotta see what it is. Yeah, Haunted Woods. Him and his daughter are getting the decorations out for the Haunted Woods and putting it up for Halloween, and they're so excited, and they love Halloween, and they're so excited to scare all their neighbors and all of this. And then at the very end of the book, the last chapter also ends with Tony Barbosa and Chloe, and they're waiting to take the decorations down after the police tell them that the investigation's over and they're allowed to do so. And now they kind of hate Halloween, and they never want to see these decorations again. They just want to box them up and put them away. And so I thought it was a really nice wrap up, because you have the beginning that you have that excitement for Halloween, and then at the very end you kind of have a juxtaposition for how they feel about it now, which is, after all that they've been through, they no longer like Halloween, which, is sad, because I love Halloween, and it's sad to read about somebody that's disillusioned with Halloween. But at the same time, I just thought that was really cool. Have it begin and end in kind of the same way. I thought that was really clever and really fun. So all in all, I think this is a great Halloween read. Hello, I'm here with another update. I got to about page 85 in There's No Way I'd Die First. And unfortunately, I think I'm going to DNF this book. It's just not for me, which pains me so much, because I was so excited for this book. It was highly anticipated. I tried to get my hands on it as soon as possible. I've just been so excited for the premise of this book, and it's just got a lot of problems. For me, I know there's other people who have read it who have enjoyed it, at least for the most part. But for me personally, I have a lot to say about it, and it's not necessarily good. So first of all, the one good thing I will say that I've really enjoyed is I love the quotes at the beginning of each chapter. So you have, well, that's not really a good example, but so you have these quotes at the beginning of the chapter. They're from different horror movies, And I thought that was really fun. But other than that, I just felt like this book has a lot of problems. So, first of all, this book has a lot of logistical problems. So, what I mean by that is there's a lot of like inconsistencies because the crush will be talking to her and then it will say that he left to go to a different room, but then he's still standing there talking to her. And I'm like, okay, I thought he left, and stuff like that happened throughout. And so there was a little bit of logistical problems there. And then I also felt like the pacing was off. So at the beginning of this book, it just barrels ahead full speed. They have this Halloween party and they go over here and they do this and they run over there and they do this and they do this and they do this. And it's just like full speed ahead to get to the clown part, which most people would appreciate because that's the part we came for is the killer clown part, let's be honest. But it just felt a little too fast and a little too forced. And then the clown gets here, and it should be full speed ahead from him starting to do these killings, but instead, it's like he shows up and then he orders them all into the living room, and then there's a lot of just standing around, like he's just sitting there watching them. And so I feel like the pacing should be the opposite. It should be a little bit slow to get you set up for the story. And then once he shows up, then it should be full speed ahead. And so having it flipped and having it be the opposite, I thought was a little bit of a strange thing to do. So I didn't like that. And the clown is not scary at all. There's one part where the kids try to run away, which, duh, of course you would. And it actually says that he looks terrified and that he yells at them, wait, come back and play, like a little toddler giving a tantrum. Like, that's not scary. Like, if the clown is afraid because you're running away from him, maybe you shouldn't be a killer clown then, because obviously they're gonna run away from you. Like, I just thought that was kind of strange. And then there was a part where the main character was like, let's not split up, guys. We have to stay together. Whenever you split up, bad things happen. And then she notices that the clown was listening when she told him this. And so she's like, oh, maybe he's not so dumb after all. Of course he's listening. He's standing right there. It doesn't say that you're whispering. It doesn't say you're tucked into a corner. You just like said it out loud and he heard it. Like, duh. Like, I don't know. There was just a lot of that kind of stuff where I think the writing was a little bit amateurish, to be honest. And this book is just very YA. So in the very beginning, when they go to this Halloween party, there's a lot of like the cell phone culture, and I just didn't grow up in that era, and I find it highly annoying. So it's like every time a new person showed up at the party, they have to do selfies, and then she's talking to her crush, but oh, I can't talk to him anymore because now they're doing a thriller and I have to document it, I have to record it, and oh, there's lightning outside, and she grabs her phone and runs over there. It was just over and over again, all about the cell phones, all about recording, all about social media, and I just found that highly annoying. I just don't like that. But again, I didn't grow up in that generation, so I don't know, take that for what you will. Young adult people reading this probably will identify with that a lot more than I do. And the crush that she has on this boy, this romance, this, every YA has to have a required romance, but sometimes I really enjoy it. And then other times, like in this book, I find it really cringy and pretty forced. And so I didn't like that. So there was a little bit of inconsistency with the main character. She acts like she's really tough, and she's like, if I'm ever in a slasher film, I'll know exactly what to do, and I have this bag packed full of all my emergency supplies, and I'll be able to get away. So then the killer clown shows up, and she's like, oh no, my emergency bag's upstairs, and Killer Clown 101, you're not supposed to go upstairs, so I can't get my bag that I have ready. So I thought that was really dumb. And she's like, oh, I can't go outside because I'm in a dress and it's 43 degrees outside and I'll get hypothermia. First of all, 43 degrees is not that cold. I mean, it's cold, but it's not even at freezing temperatures. And if you're just running to the neighbors, you're not going to get hypothermia, even if it's a mile away. And so I thought that was kind of dumb, like, oh, I'm going to die of hypothermia. And let's be honest, if there was a killer clown in your house, I would rather take my chances with the cold weather. And I think most people would say that. So I don't know. But then in her head, she's like, oh, he has to catch me first. oh, I'm so tough. I know exactly what to do because I've seen all these horror movies. Like she acts really tough and she has a lot of bravado in her head. But when it comes to her actions, she's like the opposite. So her character is just kind of inconsistent in that way. Also, we didn't really get to know any of the characters before the slasher started. And I know you don't need to be like completely connected to everybody in a slasher because half of them's gonna die anyways. But at the same time, I need to know at least who's there. You have the main character and her crush. She has like two friends and like a frenemy, and everybody else is just faceless masks. Like I couldn't even tell you what their names are. And so I need something so that when somebody dies, I have some kind of reaction instead of, oh, that nameless nobody died. Ah, darn. Like I need to know, oh, this person's a jerk. I'm glad they're dead. Or, oh no, I kind of liked him. I'm sad that he's dead. Like I want to feel something instead of just, okay, they're dead. I don't care. I don't know this person. I don't know a single thing about this person. So she didn't do any setup to any of the characters really. So why should I care if they get picked off? Again, I feel like the beginning needed to be just slightly longer and just a little bit slower just to get invested in the story more instead of just barreling ahead. So I don't know. This book is just a little too YA for me, and I'm just not enjoying it. And it's my favorite month of the year, and I really don't want to stick with a book that I'm not enjoying that much. But I really do think it might work for like younger people, but it's just not for me. So I'm going to be moving on to the X Hex. So this is kind of like a cutesy, cozy, witchy romance. So hopefully this will be a better fit for me. I will update you when I'm a little bit in. This book actually has pictures in it. I wanted to show you some of them. Look how awesome that is. There's lots of, let's see if I can find another one for you guys. It's not very often as an adult that you get a book that has pictures on it, so that's pretty exciting. I thought that was fun. It doesn't look like there's very many, but pretty cool. Hey guys, I'm back with another update. I'm only 35 pages in to the X Hex, but I just wanted to show you at the beginning of every chapter. Isn't that so cute? Little cat, the candle. I just love that. So, I think in the description of this book, I told you guys that the protagonist, broke up with her boyfriend and then hexed him, and I thought it was like a vindictive thing, like she was angry at him and so she hexed him. But I guess I was wrong. She didn't hex him on purpose. She didn't mean to, but she was upset and she was sad and she was drunk, and so her and her cousin get together and perform this little hex with candles, just thinking it was a silly fun and games, didn't think it was actually going to do anything. But instead, they actually hexed him. And I think I also said that she comes back to her hometown, but actually she's been there the whole time. It's the guy that's been away for 9 years, and now he's back to his hometown in order to charge the ley lines that's supposed to protect and bless this little town that his ancestor founded. So I really like it because we're getting the perspective of both the woman whose name is Vivian, and we also get the perspective of the guy. And so I really like in romances when you get to be in both of their heads and you get to see both of their perspectives. So I thought that was really fun and I'm really enjoying it so far. I know I'm not very far in, but so far so good. I like it. I like the writing style, I like the characters, and I'm excited to get going and read more of it. Hi guys, it's the next day and I've made it a little bit farther into the X-Hex. I'm just past the 100-page mark and I'm really enjoying this. This is really fun. It's all the cozy vibes and all the romantic vibes that I was looking for from this witchy book. And so I really like it. And so this hex has gotten a little bit worse because he didn't know about it until he came back into town. And then all of a sudden things start to happen. Like he almost gets smashed by a statue of his ancestor, or he almost gets run over by a car, or different things. And so when he went to charge the ley lines, something happened, something bad that wasn't supposed to happen because he tried to do it while he was hexed. So now they're trying to deal with the consequences of that. So this has been really a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. It does have a little bit of like sexy stuff that I don't really care for, but outside of that, it's not like happening in the present. It's like in his head and different things. Not that it really matters, but that's just not really my thing. But outside of that, I really enjoy this one. I'm really liking it and I'm looking forward to finishing it. I'll probably finish it before I update you again because there's not really that much to say about it at this point. But yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it. Hello guys. I hope you'll excuse my appearance. I'm not feeling very well and so I didn't get ready for the day, but I just wanted to update you guys because I've finished the X-Hex. Oh boy. I really liked this in the beginning. I was having a blast and I thought this was going to be a really fun book. It just quickly went downhill for me. I just didn't really like this one. So in the beginning I had all the things I liked, all the witchy vibes and this cute little town and all of that, and I liked having the perspective of the boy and the girl, and all of that was all good and dandy and everything. But the thing is, in romance, what I like the best is like the witty banter and the sexual tension, and even though you know they're gonna get together in the end, it's like, how are they gonna get past these hurdles and be together and all of that. But I dislike romances like this where it's like he strolls into town, they're instantly attracted to each other, and then like halfway through they're already making out and stuff. They had no hurdles to overcome. The sexual tension's now gone. It's all about the sex now, which I don't like. I don't like smutty books, and it's just boring. It's just boring because all of a sudden halfway through it's like they're together, kind of like not officially, but you know, they can't get their hands off each other, and that's just the rest of the book. And I hate that. It's so boring. You know, the whole point of reading a romance is to find out, you know, how they're going to be together and getting up the courage to tell each other how they feel about each other and all of that. That's what I like. But just like coming to town and being like, oh, she's hot. Oh, yeah, he's so handsome. Oh, kissy, kissy. That's so boring. And even the witchy plot was very simple. They overcame it very quickly. You know, there was a ghost and all they had to do was light a candle to get it to go into the candle. And that's all there was about it. Like, I don't know. I just, by the last 100 pages, I just didn't like it. I did finish it, but it's not for me. Sorry. Hey guys, I just got back from Walmart and bought some cool things that I wanted to share with you. First, I got this cool Halloween shirt. It's got a haunted house and a witch and a little ghosty and some bats. Thought that was really cute. And I got this Wednesday Addams shirt that says solitude suits me, which is very true. And then I got these really cute ghosty pajamas. And I got these really cool Nightmare Before Christmas socks. I got Jack and Sally and Zero. I thought those were really cute. Deadly Nightshade. Enchanted by You. Frog's Breath. Some more Sally. Anyways, I just thought those were really cute. And then I got this cute little pumpkin mug. He was only $3 and he was so cute. I also got these cute cats and pumpkins. And then these awesome spider webs. I wore it once and one of the little spiders fell off. So that's really sad, but that's okay. I still like them. So I did start, what is it? How to Survive Your Murder last night before bed. I read a couple chapters. And this actually is a lot like There's No Way I Die Tonight. And I like this one better so far, which is good because I didn't like that book. So this is also a YA, and it's got a similar plot to that other book because it's about this girl who's putting on a Halloween party. She wants her boyfriend, I'm assuming it's her boyfriend, she wants him to have a costume on and get a chainsaw and chase after these people through a corn maze. And when they reach the center of the corn maze, then that's where the Halloween party is being held, you know, and that's where the music and the festivities are. And so her boyfriend doesn't want to have the chainsaw actually on. And so the people are like, oh, this is so lame. He's just making noises with his mouth, which I thought was kind of hilarious. But so she goes to find her boyfriend in the dark corn maze to see what's going on. And she stumbles upon a guy with a chainsaw, but it's not her boyfriend. And she notices that the chain is on, you know, which is supposed to be the safety measure that you use as you don't put the chain on. And so then he comes for her. So that was a really strong start in my book. And this book's very meta. It's definitely written for horror fans. It has a lot about horror movies and about horror books and about slashers and all of that. But I really enjoy that. I enjoy the nod. So that's been a lot of fun. And so now we're following another protagonist. I forget her name. I think it's Alice. So we're following Alice, and she's with a couple of friends at school, and they're begging her to go to this Halloween party. I guess I should specify this is 3 hours before the events that took place in the first chapter. So they're begging her to go to this corn maze Halloween party that we just read about. And she's an introvert, and she just wanted to stay at home and watch scary movies and pig out on Halloween candy and ice cream. And she's like, I don't really want to do that. And I'm just like, please, you know, all the cool kids will be there type thing. And she's got a sister who's cool and beautiful and all the things she's not. And she kind of convinces her to go to this party. And so they're getting dressed and they're getting ready to go. So that's where I'm at. I'm not that far in, but I'm really enjoying it so far. I think it's a lot better written than There's No Way I Die Tonight. And so I'm enjoying this one better. So hopefully I can get through this and have a good Halloween read. Hi, I'm back. It's like 2 seconds later, but I forgot to mention something that I wanted to share with you guys. So when I started reading this last night, I noticed the chapter headings just by flipping through, and they were hilarious. And so I had to flip through them and read them to my husband because we just giggled over it, you know, because they were great. So I wanted to share some of them with you. So we have Stay Out of the Cornfield. Then you have Don't Split Up. You know you're already too late, right? You should probably be running. Careful you don't trip. The basement? Seriously? I just thought that was hilarious. And they're all throughout the book, and so they were really, really fun. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Still alive. Down there. He can only be awakened on the night before Halloween.
Like tonight.
When a world
Like you.
places his hand on a tree like this and says, Yea, I call thee forth, Trantor. But what are the chances of that happening?
Hey guys, so I'm still feeling under the weather and it's a Sunday, so I've mostly just been doing a lot of reading. So I've made it halfway in to How to Survive Your Murder, and I really like this one a lot more than There's No Way I Died Tonight, even though it is extremely similar. I know I said before they both had the Halloween party and then something goes wrong and they both have like the romance in it, but this one's a lot less cringy than that one was, and it's a lot better written, and I'm enjoying the plot a lot more. And not only that, but they're similar in the fact that they even talk about Jordan Peele's movies a lot, and they have movie quotes, and they talk about movies, and they even both make mention that it's a myth that people always think that Black people always die first in horror movies. They're like, that's actually not statistically true. It's usually the hot white girl that dies first. So anyways, they're extremely similar, but I thought this one is superior. And this isn't a spoiler, even though I'm halfway through because it's all in the premise. But this is giving me the Family Man vibes, if you've seen that movie with Nicolas Cage, but like the horror version of it. Because she runs into a Sidney Prescott lookalike when she's at the courthouse, and she's going to be a witness against the guy that she thinks murdered her sister. And she takes her back in time to the night that her sister was murdered, and then she's supposed to see what life would have been like had she saved her sister's life that night. So that's been an interesting premise. You don't really see that magical realism in horror books very often, so I thought that was fun. And I also wanted to make mention that this Danielle Valentine is actually a pseudonym for Danielle Vega. She's the author of the Merciless series and a couple of other YA horrors. And so I'm a little bit confused because I could see why she would use a pseudonym to separate like her YA from her adult. She just wrote The Delicate Condition, and I can understand wanting to separate age groups. But this is also a YA novel, so why would she want to have a pseudonym for this one from her other books? That doesn't quite make sense to me, but I just thought it was interesting that it was the same author. I was like, that's cool. I haven't actually read Merciless, but I've been wanting to. I just haven't gotten to it. So, anyways, that was just a fun thing that I learned, and I thought I'd share with you. I will say, however, that there is one part where they go into like an ultra rich neighborhood where you have to get past the big iron gates to even get into the neighborhood. These big, huge mansions, but yet her cell phone doesn't have any service. And so she can't get any service, can't get any service. Then she has to send a text to somebody. The person that needs the text doesn't get the text, but the person that's she tries next, oh, it just happens to go through, but it won't go through for the other one. And then she's trying to find her sister who goes back to that neighborhood, and again, the cell service doesn't work. And so I thought that was a little convenient because an ultra rich place like that, they're gonna have service. They're gonna pay whatever it takes to have cell service. So I don't buy that. Other than that, I think it's really good, but that was one thing where I was like, really? Those are my thoughts so far. Hi guys. I finished How to Survive Your Murder, and I loved this. I thought it was such a fun time. So I would give this probably 4 stars. It wasn't quite a 5, but maybe even a 4.5. I really enjoyed it, especially for being YA. And I really liked it because it was a homage to slasher films, especially Scream. And you see that throughout the book, and that was a lot of fun. And I feel like it had a lot more depth and emotion and character development than you usually get with slashers. Usually it's very superficial, and I felt like this one did a good job of actually making me care for the characters and get involved in the story more. So that was good. Also, there was a couple of twists in here that I didn't see coming, and I didn't guess who the killer was until about 50 pages to the end. And when I finally realized who it was, I thought it was very clever, and I really enjoyed that aspect. And the end was very chilling, which I kind of loved and hated at the same time, to be honest. It kind of had like a really good ending, but then on the other hand, I kind of like things tied up in a neat bow. So I don't know how I feel about the ending. I both love and dislike it at the same time. I'll have to think about it and mull it over, but for the most part, I think it was an excellent ending, and I thought it was well done. Also, I really enjoyed the first kiss scene between Alice and Wes. I thought that was really cute and fun and unexpected, and I won't give any details. I'll let you discover that for yourself, but I just thought it was kind of fun. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this book. I recommend it. If you like YA, if you like slashers, if you want something that's set in a cornfield and has those fall Halloween vibes because it is set on Halloween, then I think this is a good one to pick up. Okay, so just to recap, my favorites out of this vlog is All Hallows by Christopher Golden and How to Survive Your Murder by Danielle Valentine. These are the two that I enjoyed the most, and I thought they were a ton of fun. Then we have The X-Hex by Aaron Sterling. This one started out great, but then halfway through, I didn't really like the last half. And then I DNF'd There's No Way I Die Tonight by Lisa Springer. So that's all I have for you guys. If you liked this video, please push the thumbs up. And please consider subscribing so that you'll never miss a video from me. See ya!